YouTube, what's going on, everybody? Oh my, oh my. We are at the grand finale, YouTube. I appreciate you guys for sticking in. I just want to show you that picture right there. That's just amazing, guys. That is just amazing. Just to look at what I've got so far. I feel pretty comfortable that I did everything correct. Just gonna hope and believe I did everything correct. Shout out to everybody that stayed tuning in, because just because I didn't build the motor completely yet, which I will coming up, because that is the next step. Wideband wiring that up is coming up. I have to patch a hole in the floor. I'm probably going to have to straight pipe it, because too many people are complaining about trying to cut the headers and all this blah blah blah. So either I'm going to have to figure out my own way to modify the headers by welding or something like that, or stick with the stock logs and go from there. So I have some more information on that, but this is a big and literally a critical piece on what I'm trying to do. This transmission is definitely, you know, besides the engine, this is definitely what needs to be done. So at this point with the transmission, how it is, I think I'm around, I want to say $1,300 for everything brand new sensors. What you have, the control, pressure solenoid, the TTC for the torque converter. We have a Bog Warner EPC down there. I don't know if you can see that, but everything has been put in. We have the stage 1 clutches, valve body modifications, forward forged drum. I did have to buy a couple different planetaries, but you know, it is what it is. I did have to buy forward sun gear. It is what it is. So you can probably get away with something cheaper depending on what your transmission and the mileage and what's damaged has. This one does have a new direct drum, and you can get a standard direct drum for the $30. So you know, you don't have to do the route that I did depending on your transmission. Sometimes you could just replace clutches and blah 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 and go on about your way about it. So but let me explain a little bit about what's going on, guys. As you can see, I should say I did torque down the output shaft speed sensor, and underneath here is the turbine speed sensor. This is a 4R75E, so you have two sensors, which is an upgrade from the 4R70W, which just has a output speed sensor. The AODE and further down has one. When you get to a 4R75, could be W, also could have the two sensors, I'm not sure. But for a fact, 4R75E, you will have two sensors. Another thing, as you can see, the neutral safety switch. This is a big key to allowing the engine to run. If you do not have this in the correct location, your engine will not start up, and you're like, what in the world? You probably tear your transmission apart, like, oh shoot, something went wrong, blah, 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 blah. No. If this neutral safety switch, let me go ahead. Now, there is videos on how to do this. There is a tool you can use, but if you look up no tool needed, you know, TR sensor, transmission range sensor, you know, you can, you know, call it, you know, a couple different names, but neutral safety switch. And it is torqued down. Now, let me explain this right quick. If you look, this is the parking pawl. The parking pawl slides in here. Boom. This little key thingy locks the output shaft. That way it cannot spin. So when you disengage it, as you would if you had your shifter in the car, it's in park now. You'll go to reverse. Let me start over, guys. Okay, you will go from park. That's reverse. I'm trying to do this one-handed. And that's neutral right there. And if you look, the line on the black line on the outside must match with the tan or white, clear, whatever line on the inside. Don't worry about these holes here. Don't worry about that. This line is what you will worry about on a 4R75E, and that's what I'm working with. I can't tell you specifically for any other transmission, but if you're working on a 4R75E, your transmission range sensor will end up right here, and you must have that. You can adjust this. That's why it has these bolts. You can adjust it. You know, you can turn it like this and, you know, and get it in there. So everything has been torqued down. The wiring harness, the temperature sensor for the transmission, that's in there. Everything is in there. I torqued it down. The filter is on, new filter. So only thing I have to do there is button up the pan. And I'm going to clean that out, put a new gasket on there. And this will be buttoned up. But as you can see, I just kind of did a test fit of the flywheel. Let me draw back and show you. I did a test fit of the flywheel. And let me show you. I did a test fit of the torque converter because you want the torque converter to kind of sit down in the transmission. If the torque converter is even with the case, then something is wrong. You don't want that. I put fluid, as you can see here. I also put the pins in there with some Loctite. You know, it's a little sloppy, but it is what it is. Loctite, as I showed you, with the flywheel goes on, then you put the bolts on the outside and torque them down to the Ford torque specs, because it's not, you know, it's not anymore with these versus what Ford has did. So the torque converter spins nice. I have fluid on it, spins nice and freely. It is not primed just yet, but it's on there. The pump behind there, as you can see, it's on there. Let me go show you. The pump has been torqued down all the way around. I did put Transgel all up on here. And yeah, YouTube, this is the grand finale. It's done. Like I say, all I gotta do is put the pan on. I'm gonna torque down the rear bolts again once I flip it over, because I don't want to have it up here and then drop it and, you know, something breaks. No. So YouTube, this is the grand finale. The transmission is done. This is, like I say, one of the most critical parts of what I'm doing. And appreciate you guys sticking along. Hope it motivated you guys to do something. Buy one, take it apart, see if we could have put it back together. So YouTube, I appreciate you. Next up, we're going to have further of the vehicle. This is one part of the puzzle. And don't be afraid to step out there. You know, somebody motivated me. Shout out to GP. He motivated me to do this. And hopefully it motivated you. Thanks, YouTube. Crown Vic Nation. We coming. Oh. Just for anybody who didn't know, there is a 3200, 3500 star range converter. So it's going to be mean, YouTube. Thanks a lot. Check you out next time.